So an audit would be defined in two different ways. There are two separate definitions that are commonly called upon to describe the process of an audit. One of the key definitions comes from the International Standards Organization and relates to the ISO 14001 environmental management system. And their definition of an audit is that they see it as an independent and documented process for obtaining audit evidence and evaluating it objectively to determine the extent to which audit criteria are fulfilled. Another audit definition would follow from the Eco-Management Audit Scheme, which is a European regulation-driven environmental management scheme that has slightly more emphasis on checking environmental performance within an audit. And they see an audit as a systematic, documented, periodic and objective evaluation of the environmental performance of an organisation, its management system, and the processes it has in place which are designed to protect the environment. So with the EMAS definition, there's slightly more emphasis on environmental performance. The critical thing about an audit is that it's going to be testing the measures and processes in place within an organisation against a set of defined criteria. So the criteria for the audit will be developed by the audit team and the auditor. And that's that the audit will test against. So within an audit, there can be various scopes, various extents, and various scales of audit. So what is crucial in planning and conducting an audit is that all parties are clear on the scope, extent, and criteria of the audit. So the scope could relate to a geographical space or the location in which the audit boundary extends to. The process could be within, for example, a food manufacturing facility. The audit might just focus on the manufacturing, product development part of the process, and the criteria. That could either be quite broad, looking at, for example, the extent to which an organisation is meeting the objectives of its environmental management system. That would be quite a broad scale audit, whereas a much more specific audit might be, for example, looking at whether the organisation meets and is complying with its environmental permit, or, for example, water discharge consents. So that's the critical element to audit, is knowing what the scope is, knowing the extent, and knowing the criteria against which the audit results are going to be tested. So there's good practical reasons for this. So depending where the audit takes place, it might simply not be realistic